Hey everyone, I'm Anton, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing Animal Crossing New Horizons for the Nintendo Switch. As my first Animal Crossing experience, I do have a ton to say about it, so let's get started. Animal Crossing is a time simulation game series that began on the Nintendo 64. The series has been extremely successful with its number of entries and spin-offs. It's been a long time coming for an HD home console Animal Crossing game, as the last home console title, City Folk on the Wii, was released in 2008, and the last core title, New Leaf, was released in 2012 on the Nintendo 3DS. Pretty much in past Animal Crossing games, you'd move into a pre-established town, with all the buildings and villagers already living there. But New Horizons, it's a little different, as your first goal is to try and get the deserted island to that point where you'd have it in the last games. In the beginning of the game, your playable character leaves home to live on a deserted island along with the Nook Inc. getaway package. Along with two other villagers, you start your brand new life on this deserted island. You first enter in your information, create your character in the brand new character creator, and then select the island that appeals to you. The first day pretty much acts as the tutorial. The pacing is really smooth and taught me a lot of things right away. It's weird how you really can't imagine your island looking like a town, and to me that is really charming. You first find a location for your tent and also help the villagers in finding the perfect location for their tents also. It's really nice that you can select all the locations for everything. That includes shops, houses, and even the museum, because in past games you couldn't choose where the houses went, and sometimes they would spawn on your flowers or hard work and it would ruin everything. Once you finish the tutorial at the beginning and sleep in your bed, the game will then adjust and go along with real time, and the game officially begins. Crafting is a brand new addition and mechanic to Animal Crossing. In past games you either have to buy the items or get them through other means, but now you can make them yourself out of materials that you collect. But you need the DIY recipe of that thing to make it. This adds a whole other collectible into the game, and it's really fun to build a collection of them. And if you need multiple of the same item, it's really easy to gather a lot of materials and craft a whole bunch. Also, tools do break. They do have an amount of times that you can use them before they get worn out and explode. But you can craft better tools using more expensive items, which will increase the durability. There are quite a bit of tools in the game, such as the bug net, the axe, the fishing rod, and the slingshot. And the crafting recipes to these tools are given to you early in the game. Nook Miles are a secondary currency next to bells. They are awarded to you for chores and accomplishments you achieve throughout the game. You get them constantly, and it's very satisfying even when you do. A little later in the game, you do get upgrades to Nook Miles called Nook Miles Plus, and these cycle with everything that you complete. So even if you happen to complete every single Nook Miles achievement, you will still have some to look forward to. So what exactly do you buy with these Nook Miles? Well, by going to the Nook Stop, you can redeem them for quite a lot of stuff. This includes DIY recipes, furniture items, and most importantly, upgrades. These upgrades can increase your pocket amount, add new hairstyles to your mirror, add a wheel so that way you can select your items really quickly, and you can also upgrade your Nook phone to give you more things available. The Nook phone is a device that Tom Nook himself gives you as part of the Nook Getaway Pack. This device can be used to chat and view your friends list, use the local multiplayer, create patterns, view the bugs and fish that you have collected, as well as take pictures using the camera app. And then you'll wonder why you have a bunch of random photos saved onto your album. Speaking of the camera, you can also go visit Harvey on his island, and he has a little photography going on there as well, where you can take pictures and customize how the background also looks. You do unlock new applications as you play the game too, so there's a lot of things to add to the Nook phone. Patterns are a really unique part of the game. You can create your own in the application or even on the third-party websites online. And you can use the QR codes and scan them with the Nintendo Switch Online application. The tools that the Nook phone provides are really good, and once you upgrade to the Patterns Pro, then you have more control over the patterns. Patterns can be placed on the ground, on walls, canvases, and more. But even cooler is that they can be used in your furniture customizations. They even have some really cool anti-aliasing going on to make the image look less pixelated. And what are customizations? Well, using a customization kit, you can customize items and furniture. Not every piece of furniture is able to be customized, but let's just say that majority of the pieces can be changed. Some of the items allow you to change the wood type, the paint, and even add patterns, just like I previously mentioned. And what's even cooler is that some items have really cool stickers and really neat additions that you can add to them. Well, what if you don't want to make your own furniture and clothing and tools and all that stuff? Well, just visit the shops on the island. Nook's Cranny buys your junk and sells cool furniture. The Able sisters sell clothing items. There is a great selection available, with new ones getting added every day, and even some clothing getting added every single week. There are even patterns that you can view also, and the closet is a really well designed area where you can preview the clothing and buy it right there. And also, if you want to change your look and hairstyle, it's really simple. In past games, you needed to go to the shampoo shop and sit through a series of questions to get a hairstyle that you liked, and there were even guides online as well. But now, what you need to do is just go to the mirror and you can change it whenever you want, and faster also. The museum is a place where you can donate and display the bugs, fish, and fossils that you collect. You can only donate one type of each specimen, so I usually sell the duplicates. The museum's design is gorgeous. I feel like I'm actually at a real museum, and the layout is really well designed. I could honestly walk around inside of it all day. And then once you upgrade your plaza, you will get a town hall. This has the Nook stop, and Isabelle is also here, allowing users to customize their island further. You can add town tunes and even a custom town flag as well. And Tom Nook in the town hall will offer construction permits, which change your island. So you can build ramps, bridges, and once you get good rating from a tourist at the campsite, you'll then be able to build paths as well as move the terrain and water as you see fit. And you will also be able to relocate the buildings, which is really nice. And finally, you have your house, which not only can you decorate it, but you can also store items in the storage section. And you can also make your house size bigger and add rooms and multiple floors. They really did a good job with the decorating system, where you actually go into this mode and can place anything really quickly. You don't have to move anything by hand, but you can if you want to move something really quickly also. So it's great that they took the designing system and inspiration from Happy Home Designer. Now, the structure of tasks that you have to do in the game is really well paced. One thing that I was hoping for the game is that it would feel more like a video game than a simulator, because Animal Crossing is pretty much a simulation game. And I think it definitely feels like a regular game because of the crafting mechanic. You pretty much have to collect items in order to get money to pay off your debt. And Tom Nook will also have you complete various tasks around the island. These tasks can be really fun and challenging. Most of the time, material gathering and crafting is involved. It can be definitely challenging if you need to craft certain items to be able to craft another item. And this is how you progress most of the time. And waiting for certain buildings to be built and waking up the next day to see if it's been completed and visiting them for the first time can be extremely satisfying and really rewarding also. Now, if you're running low on resources, the Nook Miles ticket is your best bet. Using one of these tickets brings you to a deserted island, which you have a ton of material available. Some of these islands have basic materials, while some of them are pretty crazy. I even managed to visit one of the legendary tarantula islands at night, which had tarantulas spawning every second. You won't believe how many times I fainted. Tarantulas are worth 8,000 bells, so they're very profitable once you fill up an entire inventory full, and that is exactly what I did. Once I got back to my island, I sold them for a ton of bells, which helped me to pay off my debt. You can also meet villagers on these islands too, which you can invite to come live on your island, and this is one of the ways that you can populate your town. Speaking of the animals, in the game, they are fantastic. They have great dialogue and personalities. You can give them items, and they can give you stuff as well. You can also see them singing, holding items, and even watering flowers. It really adds to the environment and makes the game feel that much more immersive. And you'll see your villagers doing questionable stuff. It's been an hour and you guys are still running, like, You'll also see special characters which can show up in your town. You'll encounter Wisp, a ghost that you have to help out, Daisy May, who sells the turnips, and even holiday characters such as Zipper. They'll visit your town randomly, so it's good to talk to them and see what they've got to offer. Multiplayer in the game is interesting. Obviously, you cannot make a town per account, so you have to make a town on one console, and everybody that has an account on that console has to share that town. If you have a Switch for yourself, then it's no problem and you have that town for yourself. However, if you have to share one with your siblings, it might be quite annoying, as they don't really get the full experience that the player who plays the game for the first time will. And you end up fighting for materials, so you have to kind of share them with each other. But 2 players on an island does work quite well. If you have more than 2 players, that might be an issue, but it's pretty nice to have 2 players because when gathering materials, it works decently well. My only complaints are the stupid boxes the items go in from the player that isn't the leader, and this leader system that they have going on. I really don't understand why they did this, as it makes the experience annoying because you have to swap back and forth. And the player has an inventory anyway, so why doesn't the item that they pick up just go in their inventory? I don't understand. And at one instance in the game, you don't have the bin available, so those items are lost away for quite some time. So at least give the option to make the items not go in the bin, and maybe the bin can just be where the second player can put their items in for you to get them. Other than the long waiting screens, visiting your friend's island is a really good experience. You can easily chat with them and send them even direct messages, even when you aren't on their island. And if you want, you can also send messages with presents to friends' mailboxes. So if you want to send junk like this or something random, you can totally do so. The only problem with visiting others' islands is that you end up pausing everyone that is in that island, and it takes quite a while to get there. I really don't know why it takes as long as it does. Maybe connection problems? I really don't know. It should be a lot more seamless, as games like Minecraft take significantly faster. I really don't know what's going on there. Also, some of the dialogue, especially the questions when talking to Orville, or just many NPCs to just try to get to a menu or something, can take quite a long time. I know that you can just fast forward the dialogue, but there is still quite a lot to go through, and I would have appreciated maybe a menu system or just shorten some of the dialogue. It would have been a lot better. Now the graphics. Do I really have to talk about them? Because just look at this game. Even though the game has a cartoonish style as the past Animal Crossing entries, this is by far the prettiest and the most polished. The leaves on the trees shake with the wind, the colors are vibrant and beautiful, the textures are detailed, the bugs and fish look real, and the game is just so nice to look at that I could spend a long time just walking around the island and viewing all the beautiful details. And there are many details too in the game that just go unnoticed. So you will see the tracks in the sand, and when it's wet, you'll see different kind of tracks. It's so detailed. And you can interact with a ton of the furniture too. Some will animate, some will produce light, and some specifically will play music. The music worried me. Now, when I first started the game, there was just one track playing, and I thought the music would change during the day. 30 hours of playing the game later, it was still the same. And when I got to Town Hall, the music changed hourly, and what a relief that was, because I couldn't listen to this any longer. The tracks in the game are beautifully composed and capture island life at its finest. Calmer songs in the morning and evening, and upbeat songs during the middle of the day help set the tone extremely well. This game is extremely addictive. Just by looking at the gameplay here, it might not look that entertaining at all, but once the controller is in your hands and you are finally playing it, you will realize exactly what I'm talking about. You end up procrastinating most of the time just to get another thing done, and then you look at the clock and notice that an hour has passed. And just to put into perspective how much time I put into this game, that is 3 weeks of pure dedication. Overall, Animal Crossing New Horizons is a fantastic game. It definitely is the best in the series, as it refines and changes some aspect to make the experience better. Even though some things aren't in the game yet, and there are some issues with online multiplayer, Animal Crossing New Horizons gets a 9.5 out of 10. There are some features as of making this video that are not yet in the game, and hopefully we will get some DLC updates in the future that address these things, and there are even more holiday events to come through updates as well, so I look forward to seeing those. Now that this review is finally over, I can get back to playing Animal Crossing New Horizons, and hopefully clock in a few more hours into the game. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and as always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see future videos, and it always helps out the channel a lot as these videos do take quite a long time to make, so it is much appreciated. And also, do comment down below, what do you think about Animal Crossing New Horizons? Do you have it already? And I will see you guys in the next one.